Do you like the hat? Hey, how you doing? How's it going, everybody out there in this room? There's a few people here, socially distanced. You can hear them. You can hear them through their masks. How's it going, everybody out there in online land, Facebook and YouTube? Okay, so we're gonna play a few songs. Okay. I released an album in the summertime and on Wolf Island Records, and it was recorded in lots of different places. I was in Canada for a few meetings on a film thing I was doing, and maybe some people don't know the story. On the last live stream thing I talked about it, but I went up to this island in Ontario where there's a studio, a fantastic studio there, run by a guy called Chris Brown, who ended up producing the record. So when I was there for a week, it was like a holiday, and I was hanging out, and we would put down a few ideas. And then I went home, and Chris started to build the album around these, what we call them beds. So it's like roughs of the songs set to a beat. And then over the next year and a half, it was sort of put together. And it ended up being finally recorded. I think we did the drums in Lisburn, and we did my vocals in Kilkenny. And there was some extra stuff done in New York, so it's a real mishmash of stuff. And this is the last song on the record, but the first song that we released, and it's called I Believe. Three small words, telephone, 1,000 miles from your side. I knew right then I spoke too soon. Almost cried. Half my life I've been waiting for angel eyes, and I found them to see right through me, this love I can't hide. And I believe in how I feel about you. Take your time, it's alright. Got the rest of our lives. We'll save that love for someone special. It's only right. And I believe in how I feel about you. I understand your anxieties, got some of my own. No need to doubt or hesitate. Heart to heart, we're home. Past is gone, tomorrow's call. Be back to your side. Found love from heaven falling. Feelings can't be denied. And I believe in how I feel about you. There you go. Thanks a million. Thank you. So the next song I'm going to do is going to be on the next record, which we're working out at the moment, which will be released hopefully not too far away shortly, because we can't gig. Nobody can really do live shows. I mean, this is quite a small little thing. It's nice, and it's great that it's gone out everywhere, hopefully on the old Tintar web. So not being able to play gigs like everybody who plays music, I decided I would just keep recording, and we're going to release more music. This is going to be on the next record, like I said, but I put it out a couple of years ago on a very limited edition EP, but this is called God Forsaken. I've been all over this old world, searching for a brown-eyed girl. I met her once and I let her go. Black hair haunts me so. See, when I close my eyes, why am I not surprised? Could kill myself sometimes, but no one would miss me if I died. forsaken, I'm out here looking to find my way back home. I'm out here, I'm all alone, God forsaken. I've been all over this old world, searching for that brown-eyed girl that I said I saw her once and I let her go. Her red hair haunts me so. See, when I close my eyes, why am I not surprised? I could kill myself sometimes. I'm all alone, God forsaken, I'm out here looking to find my way back home. From out here, I'm all alone, God forsaken, all alone, God forsaken, all alone, God forsaken. Thanks a million. Yeah, it's cool to be playing to a bunch of people again. It's nice. They're all really far back. I know you can't see them in the camera, so they're all socially distanced. That song was not autobiographical, by the way. There is no brown-eyed girl with black hair that I passed somewhere that I'm still looking for. But I am God-forsaken. I know that. Blonde Germans. Hey. You want me to sing it again? I can be even more tearful. So the next song has an interesting story behind it because it's fiction, right? But it's actually an idea I had for a film years and years ago. And I was living in Dublin at the time, in the basement of this old, big old house. I had this old computer there, one of these old, I was going way back, things just like with a floppy disk, you know. But I sat down typing one night, and this idea about a girl, a working girl, a woman of the night, prostitute, pick your term, whatever, she's living in some town, and there's a guy that would visit her, and he never pays. She likes him, and he likes her, but he lives on the nice side of town. She lives on the, not so nice side of town, let's say. And she has problems. My idea was, I don't know if she was a drug addict or she was getting abused or whatever, but he never stepped in to help her, but we don't know if she needed help. So the idea was a short story, maybe to make it into a little movie or whatever, and it never got made. Like 99.9% of films never get made. And that was one of them. So I had it lying around as a really long poem, I suppose, a story written in rhyme. That was going to be about 11 minutes if it was a song. It was just too long. So I played it for Chris when I was there with him, and we rebuilt it, we restructured it. And it's now, I think, 5 and a bit minutes on the CD. So this is called Wedding Gown. And it's changed. The story is now, oh, sorry, that's the wrong, I introduced the wrong one. I better do the one I introduced. It's called Lady Love and the Cavalier. And I'm going to stop and correct myself. Chris hasn't done anything on this one. Sorry, Chris, you worked on the other one. I'm getting my wires crossed. This is called Lady Love and the Cavalier, and this is about the girl and the guy and the sad ending. Such a hard life to walk alone, has to kick her habit too. Johnny don't like how she feels, beat her black and blue. Drive a cold black limousine, mausoleum to her heart. Lady, don't take what you get, it's gonna fall apart. Where I stood, I watched her falling down and down, too tired, wasted to make it on the other side of town. Far from lonely street, the other side of town. streets that lead downtown. Bet you're back to the nightlife still if you can't escape stranglehold. You're gonna get your fill. Lady love brought this place to bed with her every night. Now she sleeps alone in peace under roses in cold moonlight. Where I stood watched her falling down and down, too tired, wasted to make it from the other side of town. Far from lonely street, the other side of town. I'm the only one I paid with a smile. She called me her Cavalier, but I came way too late. Take her away from here. The lady love brought that place to bed with her every night. Now she sleeps alone in peace under roses and cold moonlight. Where I stood watched them put her in the ground, something I've done from the other side of town. Far from a lonely street, the other side of town. The other side of town. Thanks. Did you put something in that water that maybe mixed them up? Maybe it's dementia. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. That was Lady Love and the Cavalier. The one I was talking about, I'll do later. Anyway, so this was the second single that we released off the album. And this, I actually recorded this 25 years ago or more with another band that we had in Dublin, and we put it out on a sort of a, I guess, like an indie album that I had. But I was sitting around a campfire on that week in Canada on this brilliant island, this tiny little island, and it's like 1,000 islands in these lakes, you know, it's amazing, the Great Lakes and all that. And a guitar started getting passed around the campfire. And you know, all these brilliant musicians start playing songs, and I was in the corner, so I was going, Jesus, they're going to give me the guitar in a minute. And they did, but they're all playing Bob Dylan and all this stuff, you know, and I'm going, I don't know how to play those songs, Jesus. I like Motorhead, you know. So I played one of mine. Yeah, I played one of mine, and at the end of it, Chris said to me, what's that? It sounds kind of familiar. I said, no, that's mine, I just have it. And he went, we're putting that on the album. And I went, okay, boss. So we did. And this is called Swim. And this is a song about, I think, infatuation, somebody that may never exist, man, woman, or something else. It's just an idea of somebody, you know, dreaming about, that person they can never have, or maybe they shouldn't have. So they're swimming around inside their head. And there was a nice review of this song from one of those reviews we got, and it said, songs that swim inside your head like digitally animated fish. I guess he knew I made cartoons as well. This is Swim. I know you, you know me, know the road you walk. I'd like to see you shaking, and I won't hear that talk. A song and dance we memorize, strike a light and it burns it right. Come on, baby, tantalizing in your endless sea. 'Cause it's all out, so good, babe. Why do you swim inside my head? It's alright, so sweet, babe. Don't you swim inside my head. Looking great, thinking late, wearing your passion dress. I just won't see you smiling, and I won't fake the kiss. A song and dance we memorize, strike a light and it burns it right. Come on, tantalizing in your endless seas. It's all out, so good, babe. Why do you swim inside my head? It's alright, so sweet, babe. Don't you swim inside my head. People always looking for something, just cannot find. I know now, searching out answers that come from inside. Everybody is waiting on something, just cannot find. I know now, let this love die, gonna someday cry. 'Cause it's all out, no good, babe. Why do you swim inside my head? It's alright, so sweet, babe. Don't you swim inside my head? I said it's alright, so good, babe. Don't you swim inside my head? It's alright, so sweet, babe. Don't you swim inside my head? I said no, oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, don't you swim. Thanks a million. So before I do the next one, we're going to have a few special guests. You can see these instruments around me. So I'm going to be bringing up a few guys to make a bit of noise later. It ain't all this. So it's going to be a bit noisy in a while, but that's okay. Noise is good. It's good noise. Turn down them drums. That's what a fella said in the pub one night to a drummer I was with. Turn down them drums, and your man got the tuning key and went around the kit messing, turned them all down. That's grand. They sound good now. That's nice and low. In fact, could you get rid of them? But I'm keeping them drums. And Paul, we're going to have a bit of crack. All right, this next song is the one I was trying to introduce earlier, and I kind of knocked up. It's called Wedding Gown, and this is the one that was supposed to be a film. And this is a story, actually, about a father, not a guy and a girl. It's a father and a daughter. And basically, the man loses his wife to the birth of his daughter, and she's like being a light in his life. He's got reason to live. He raises this kid. She grows into a lovely, beautiful woman, and she gets married in her mother's wedding gown, and her husband kills her. So he's lost his wife and his daughter, and it's kind of sad. But and this is the one that was 11 minutes long and went a bit crazy. So this is the one that myself and Chris rebuilt. And yeah, and this is on the album as well. So this is called Wedding Gown. In the light of the rising spring, watched her sway on garden swing. Recall how her coming took my wife out of darkness. She brought the light, like a blind man giving sight. I could finally see the meaning of life. She used to pray in a wedding gown, cast mother's shadow on the ground. My little princess, for her I died. Bloomed into a beautiful rose. In the summer sun she glowed. Then darkness returned with a boy who called me sir. Walked in first, left her standing there. Asked for her hand and I gasped for air. But he called me sir, called me sir. She used to dream of a wedding gown, handsome prince in a sparkling crown. The devil often hides in the light. How do we protect who we love most from those who choose to walk like ghosts, moving through this world, testing Father's fears? And we know if we say no, our kids will laugh before they go, asking us, how do you live with yourselves? She always wanted a wedding gown. It became her funeral shroud. Nothing I said could have turned it around. Bed is full with her back turned. She was never gonna learn. He was running circles around their town. Now he could run no more. Men like that run out of floor when the castles of sand fall to the ground. She always wanted a wedding gown, a handsome prince in a sparkling crown. She lost her life to a hand-me-down. She always dreamed of a wedding gown, cast angel shadow on the ground, that followed mother's footsteps in her wedding gown. Wedding gown, wedding gown. Thanks. All right, so I'm going to play one of my own, and then we're going to bring up the first guest, Mr. Alex SOIKANS, is going to play some guitar with me. Yeah. So this next one is not. It's the first. I think it might be the first time I've ever played it live. It's recorded. We recorded it. I did the second album, like I was saying. And I kind of gave the wrong impression to some people who asked me when we put out the other record. We didn't really do two albums at the same time. Kind of did. With a chap called Dave Malloy up in the north, and Dave produced it. And this is one of the tracks I did with him. And I'm not sure about love songs. I don't know if I can write them, but this is probably the nearest I've ever come close. And it's called See Love Shine. And it started out actually as a song called Before I Die. It's kind of bleak. Well, a few of them are kind of bleak, I guess. What's that? I'll go with that. See, that's the abuse. That's the Lizzies for you now. For any of you people out there who don't know what Lizzies are, I'm from a place called Lisduggan, and there's a clutch of them over there in the corner now. And I'll be seeing them after, and they'll bait the head off me. So this is called See Love Shine. Yeah, I hope it's not bleak. I hope I remember it. Sorry, Dave, if I screw it up. Never seen a cowboy, I never rode no open plain. Only time I seen a horse was on a back road in the rain. Tell you something now you might not believe. I love my hometown, but I think it's time to leave. But my friends, they tell me what'll be, will be. Starting to listen, you could say I believe in what I thought it was a lie. And I see the love shine in her eye, in her eye. I see love shine. I was missing home, saw her standing there. The way she smiled at me, all I could do was just sit and stare. And I could walk with her, hand in hand against this world. Tell you something, man, I'm damn just not the girl who has changed what's left of my life. By staying with me and making this alright, she makes me feel like a newborn child. When I see the love shine in her eye, in her eye, I see love shine in her eye. So I see it shine bright as a north star in the summer sky. It's guiding me home from near and far. When I see love shine. And my friends still tell me what'll be, will be. I'm starting to listen. You could say I believe the black rose will blue at night. When I see the love shine in her eye, oh, I'll see it shine as bright as a north star in the summer sky. It's guiding me home from near and far. When I see love shine. So, I'm going to give a bit of a hand there for Alex. He's going to sit in on this next song. Alex played on the album in Canada. One of the days I was up there, he was living in Toronto. He's just moved back, actually, to Ireland. And I was up there in that island I was saying. So I actually stayed in Toronto on the way in. I think I had a couple of nights. I got you somewhere. I said, let's go for a burger or something. And I had an agenda, you know, because I always admired him playing. I used to see him in Coda Kid a few years ago when they had the band here in town. And I really liked his playing. So, you know, he thought, oh, it's a fella from Waterford. Nah, yeah, grand. Then I'm going, hey, you doing that at the moment? Do you want to play on a record? I was like a sinister, you know. Yeah. Well, he ate the burger, though. And so anyway, yeah. So he came up for the day, and we put down four songs? Four songs. It was great. We'll play a couple of them later. This one is not on that record. I'm kind of mixing it up. I'm playing some new stuff. And this is one that actually Colin, who's handling all this. And thank you, Colin, for doing all this amazing live stream. Big hand for Colin. He's doing 3 jobs here. He's mixing live, online, and he's shooting everything. It's amazing. I'm terrified of the bleeding invoice, but we won't say that. Anyway, it'll be all good. So this is a song called Hard Truth, and this is one that, like all of these songs, they have a bit of a history. You know, this was an attempt years ago to write a kind of a love song again, and I wasn't happy with it. The day I was booked to record it, the lyrics just didn't do it for me. And there's a couple of well-known people who, when the record is ready, we'll say who they are, but one of them in particular is a good friend of mine, and he came up and did the backing vocals, and I was crapping myself going, geez, I can't have him sing those lyrics, you know? So I had this idea about, what would it be about? It's kind of like hard truth, you know, reality, facts, not feelings and not opinions, because we're not entitled to our own facts. You can have your feelings and opinions all you want, but facts are facts. So I was thinking about that, and it's an old saying that some politician, I think, said years and years ago, and it's quite true, I think. But anyway, I was thinking, like, what does that mean? And what does it mean when bad guys are people that we perceive to be the opposite of what we want or like come to power and they have a lot of followers, like some cookie monsters we have in charge in the world at the moment. And what's going to happen if these guys lose and are voted out or are gone? What happens to their backers? You know, what happened in 1945 when the guys with the funny costumes and the stupid moustaches were gotten rid of? Those, you know, what happens to those people? Or what happens when a pillar of society you look up to, you find out that there's a darkness there? So the truth will always come out. And it always wins, you know, to some degree, until it's put back under a rock, and then the cycle starts again. And I better put the capo on before you shoot me. I just dropped it. It's live, you see, we're not fooling. It's the real deal. So anyway, yeah. So here you go, this is called Hard Truth, and it's dedicated not to the followers of fashion, but the followers of other fashion. What did Woody Guthrie say? This guitar kills fashion. No, it's the other one. Right? 1, 2, 3. Why did you tell us lies with crocodile tears, the hide false eyes when you walked away? We asked you why you do as you do and not as you say. You fell back behind your walls, we stayed here. The whole world in ruins, you turn your back on your own kith and kin. Like foxes, you hide in your den, but hard truth comes out in the end. Hard truth always wins. Hard truth. Days pass slowly by while we sit. Remember the time when you shouted freedom will reign. Now we lie here, trapped by your chains as you fell back behind your walls. We stayed here, whole world in ruins. You turn your back on your own kith and kin, like foxes hide in your den. But hard truth comes out in the end. Hard truth always wins. Hard truth. Look what you did here, trading lies for truth. Snake oil deceiver, your true colors shine through. Yes, they do now. Hard truth always wins. It comes out in the end. Hard truth always wins. Hard truth. Hard truth always wins. It comes out in the end. Hard truth always wins. Hard truth. Thanks a million. So this next one is on the current album that's out, and you get it in all the good record shops, and you get it in all the nice places. You get it online, Amazon and all those places. It's on Bandcamp, and if you want a copy, see me after. I'm not giving it away for free now, it's only 50 quid. This is called Unkind. And the story behind this one, again, is just a story of fiction. My father, you know, he was a big country music fan, truck driver, you know, took me to Convoy when I was 10 or 11, whenever it was on, Chris Christopherson, you know, Johnny Cash, all those guys. And so the shirt is in honor of me old fella. But I wasn't really into country when I was younger, you know, the usual punk, heavy metal, whatever, hard rock, all that stuff. And then as I got older, I started to appreciate where that came from and, you know, the heart of the devil's music, the blues and all that. And then country music has its own weirdness. But there's a couple of songs that I really liked, which are that style of song, which is a kind of a prison song, you know, a guy in a cell wishing he was somewhere else. And this is a kind of a fantasy. It's me just, it could be Mountjoy, it could be one of those San Quentin or one of these places you hear about. But the idea is he has, you know, he's in jail for murder, so he's basically recalling his mammy's good advice that he didn't follow. And it all ended up very unkind. Summer cold, summer slide, and some will bring a tear to your eye. Some are born to be wild, some will treat you like a child, some will treat you unkind. Mother said, I want to tell you, son, I want to let you know right now how some pretty girls' minds work might save your soul somehow. 'Cause some are cold, some are sly, some will bring a tear to your eye. Some are born to be wild, some will treat you like a child, some will treat you unkind. Well, if I'd gone just one more round, I would not be so down. If I'd known then what I know now, she might still be around. Some are cold, some are sly, some will bring a tear to your eye, and some are born to be wild, some will treat you like a child, some will treat you unkind. Prison bars as unforgiving as the knife in my hand. The night you laughed and told me about a new tall dark-haired handsome man. Well, I was cold, I was sly, and I brought a tear to her eye. She was born to be wild, she never treated me like a child. I always thought it was unkind, wish I was us home and still a child. All right, we got a few more guests coming on to join us. Mr. Peter Vogler on bass, Mr. Paul O'Byrne on drums, and Mr. Graham Clancy on guitar. Now I'm going to do Superman. I got to take this thing off, it's too hot, but I'm not going to. You don't need to see what's under this. We're going to play a few songs off the, two off the Hearns album and two that's going to be coming down the road. This is one of the songs that Alex played us on the album. It's called Pillar Stone, and it's vaguely autobiographical, very tongue-in-cheek autobiographical, but you know, it is what it is. And I hope you like it. Whenever he's ready. Don't know much about the bayou. I never made a move to LA. I fell in love in London town. Couldn't wait to get away. Now I'm back on my home ground. You all think my numbers came in. I better live outside the law. See face but not the family. How to make a living, selling stories and songs. Still work on my fingers to the bone. But I can weather any storm like a pillar stone. The day that I came home, you know, the sun started to shine. I dreamt I could walk on water, turn it to wine. Sunset, I'm too big for my boots, and these are well run dry. If you don't like what I got going on, lift your heels and walk on by. How to make a living, selling stories and songs. Still working my fingers to the bone. But I can weather any storm like a pillar stone. You could say I'm lucky, or you could say I'm rich. I got 2 times all I need. There's nothing you can count. It's how to make a living, selling stories and songs. Still working my fingers to the bone. And I can weather any storm like a pillar stone. Won't heal me more. How to make a living, selling stories and songs. I still working my fingers to the bone. But I can weather any storm like a pillar stone. You won't hear me wrong. I'm not standing in my field. Hey! Thanks a million. Rock and roll all together. This is called The Start of It. It's going to be on the new record. You know as you walk through the door, that's the start of it. Whispering, how do you do? That's the start of it.
You know it's rolling, friend. You better watch your back and send for some help, or it gets too late, and that's the start of it. You know when you're drinking alone, that's the start of it. A Looney Tune stares you down, that's the start of it. You know it's going, friend. You better watch your back and send for some help, or it gets too late, and that's the start of it. You believe that faith alone will make you a stronger man. You must be Jesus Christ's return, 'cause only He can take that stand. You know where it's going, friend. You better watch your back and send for some help, or it gets too late, and that's the start of it. You better watch your back and send for some help, or it gets too late, and that's the start of it. Hell might freeze over tonight. Yeah, pigs might take up flight. Well, all you know is it's not right. A woman looking for a light, a moron looking for a fight. She could steal your soul, and he might take your sight. Alright. You know where it's going, friend. You better watch your back and send for some help, or it gets too late, and that's the start of it. Your back. Oh, that's the start of it. All right. Rock and roll, and a bit more rock thrown in. All right, this next one is on the current album, and it's called Two Wrongs Don't Make a Right. I wrote this in Berlin, actually, when I was living there. Probably chasing Katie all over the place. Two wrongs don't make a right. Jesus, I need a drink of water. Here we go! Two wrongs that don't make a right. Apologize for the other night. Say what you want and don't need a fight. Two wrongs that don't make a right. I didn't mean to hurt you so. You just smiled, it was on the show. She grabbed my hand, asked me to dance, but what she saw was a confused man. Two wrongs that don't make a right. Apologize for the other night. Say what you want and don't need a fight. Two wrongs don't make a right. And now, honey, you don't have to go. Stop running, just come back home. Well, I was wrong, it's not right. Since you're gone, can't sleep at night. See the writing on the wall. I know we're heading for a fall. I'm on the other side of a ten-cent call. That's not all. That's not all. Like a dog, I always ran to you. A blind fool sitting right on cue. made one mistake and you say we're through. What can I do to prove it to you? Too wrong and don't make a right. Apologize for the other night. Say what you want and don't need to fight. Too wrong, don't make a right. I'm on the other side of a tense and call. That's not all. That's not all. No, 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 no. I said, too long, don't make a right. Apologize for the other night. See what you want and don't need a right. Too long, don't make a right. Too long and don't make a right. Apologize for the other night. See what you want and don't need a right. Too long, don't make a right. Too long and 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 don't make a right. Say what you want and don't need a right. Too wrong, don't make it right. Yeah, 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 yeah. There you go. Thanks a million. I hope everybody at home is enjoying this. Just say we got one more song, and well, before we do it, we're going to leave this run for a little while. We got Rebecca there on the good old online commentary thing. So I thought we might leave it run a little bit if you want to answer some of the comments and stuff, because we haven't been able to interact with anybody online, obviously through this. So I want to say thanks to the guys. A big hand here, please. Graham, Paul, Peter, and Alex. And they're going to kill me, but I think I've just found a band. And I'm going to call it Pillar Stone. All right, yeah. This is called Testify, and this will be on the new album. Okay, here we go. Heading down a highway, I'm a living cliche. How you think I know better? Now my hair's gone gray. I'm thinking like a dancing in a punk rock shirt. While the years pile upon me like graveyard dirt. Well, the wonderful life stole my mind. I'm gonna get it back. Well, I've still got time. To that I will testify. Hear me testify. She set my heart beating way too fast. All my knees bleeding. How long can I last? You're dressing like a young man in a cowboy shirt, while the years pile upon me like graveyard dirt. Well, my daddy didn't raise pride and joy. Being nobody's a whipping boy. To that I will testify. Hear me testify. I'm gonna testify. There you go, and I'll pass you by. What'll you do to love spits in your eye? What'll it take for you to understand? There is no truth in a one-night stand. It's alright to have fun with anyone willing. It's alright to live in sin, as long as you let love in. word. To that I will testify. I'm gonna testify. I'm gonna testify. Yeah, you got one life, try to live it right. Don't you hurt no one, it'll be alright. As long as you testify. Thanks a million, everybody. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching online, everybody, wherever you are. We hope to see you out there gigging again in the real world. Thanks, Colin. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks to this great little venue here, WAMA Live Room. Thanks to the guys. And I guess we can we answer any things? What's that? Your loves what? I do, I have to earn a few bob somehow.
Wedding gown. So Annie Galvin is watching from California in her studio as she paints. And her question was, what parts of the story did you cut out when you shortened wedding gown?
Well, Anne, how's it going? Anne's an old friend of mine. We were in college together. She has an amazing studio in San Francisco. What parts did we cut out? We kind of restructured it. That's the thing. I think it went primarily, I remember the opening line was, laid white in her wedding gown, the congregation gathered around. That was the original opening. And it described obviously a church funeral, and it just became almost too cinematic, so we pulled it down. So I thought, and I had this idea that the father would sit there with a cop next to him and he's got handcuffs on him, and that's how the film would open, and I just thought it was a bit much. So we rebuilt it as a guy, maybe he's sitting on his own in a room, dark room, and he's just remembering how he got to that point. He's had everything, he's lost it twice. So what we took out, I think, was all this extra conversation with the police. Probably I tried to give too much, because it was a film, so I was trying to put in all this back stuff. And so he might have been there telling the cop, I think that's what it was, the cop sat down next to him and said, look, how did it come to this? You know, why did you kill your man? Well, you know, and he's in handcuffs. So I took all that out. So it's more like a man that's just lost everything, and just an ordinary guy. And so I think it was the cop thing we took out, which was just another thread that was too far, I think, for a song.
So with a film you have to show it all, whereas with a song you can allow people to interpret it. So a film you have to show it, with a song you can feel it. So whatever way you interpret it is up to you.
It's like the main beats. When you make a film, you know, you write this huge backstory, and then you narrow that down to the 2 hours you might see on screen. It could have been 5 hours longer. A song is a 3-minute version of a 2-hour movie. So that's it, Anne. I hope that answers.
Then Veronica Carey just wanted to say that she's delighted to see you on TV.
Go on, Veronica.
And loads and loads of people just sent you in beautiful well wishes, saying that you sounded great and looked great, and that it's incredible to have live music from their homes. And I agree, this is a really strange time for everything and everyone, so it's brilliant to still have live music, and it's great to have people like Colin throwing themselves out there and able to do live streams, and it's great having people like Trevor having venues that allow for there to be socially distanced gigs, and for us to do what we do, which is
no, it's brilliant, yeah. And it's a great opportunity. You know, we were going to play this cold cameras, and we wasn't even going to be as big a thing as this, and then I asked some family and friends to come by, and it's a nice little evening here for us, and I hope it's the same wherever everybody is, that you're sitting there with a can or a bottle of wine or a Coke or whatever the hell you drink or don't drink, and you're enjoying it. Listen, thanks again to everybody. Thanks, Rebecca. And we'll do it again sometime, and Colin, I'll give you plenty of warning the next time. Thanks a lot, lads. Good luck. See you on the next cartoon.